Welcome. Today, we will be discussing the role of the trustee in your living trust and giving you some guidelines to help you choose the best trustee. Let's begin by explaining what a trustee is. A trustee is usually a person, but sometimes a bank or other corporate entity that holds legal responsibility for managing assets or property on behalf of another person or group of people, known as the beneficiaries. Trustees are appointed by the creator of a trust. The trustee has a fiduciary duty to act in the best interests of the beneficiaries and to manage the assets or property in accordance with the terms of the trust. This includes investing the assets, distributing income and principal to the beneficiaries, and making decisions about trust assets as necessary. Trustees are legally bound to act in an ethical and responsible manner and are accountable to the beneficiaries and the courts. Trustees may be individuals, such as family members or trusted advisors, or they may be professional entities, such as banks or trust companies. The choice of trustee depends on the complexity of the trust and the preferences of the trust creator. In most instances, when you set up a living trust, you are the initial trustee. If you are setting up a joint trust with your spouse, then in most instances, each of you will be co-trustees, and after the death or incapacity of the first spouse, the other spouse will be the sole trustee. If an initial trustee is unable to act or declines to act as trustee, then a successor trustee will take over. Choosing a successor trustee for a living trust is an important decision that requires careful consideration. Here are some factors to consider when choosing a successor trustee. 1. Consider the complexity of the trust. If your living trust is simple, you may be able to appoint a family member or friend as the successor trustee. However, if your trust is more complex, it may be a good idea to appoint a professional trustee or a bank or a trust company. 2. Age and health. If appointing an individual as trustee, you should consider the age and health of that person. You want to choose someone who is likely to outlive you and be able to fulfill their duties. 3. Willingness to serve and availability. If appointing an individual as trustee, it is important to choose someone who is willing to serve as your successor trustee. Being a trustee can be time-consuming and stressful, and not everyone is up to the task. 4. Assess the trustee's qualifications. When choosing a trustee, you should consider their financial expertise, experience managing assets, and ability to make decisions that are in the best interest of the beneficiaries. If you are considering a professional trustee or corporate trustee such as a bank, research their track record and reputation to ensure they are trustworthy and reliable, and make sure you understand the fees they will be charging. 5. Consider conflicts of interest. It is important to choose a successor trustee who has no conflicts of interest with the beneficiaries or the trust. For example, if a family member is a beneficiary, there may be benefits to appointing a non-family member as trustee to avoid potential conflicts of interest. 6. Communicate your wishes. Make sure you communicate your wishes clearly to the successor trustee you choose. Discuss your expectations, goals, and wishes. This will help ensure that the trustee understands their responsibilities and is able to manage the trust accordingly. 7. Backup plan. Consider naming a backup successor trustee in case your first choice is unable or unwilling to serve. We hope these tips have helped you narrow down who you would like to be your successor trustee. If you are still unsure, please write down the names of those that are candidates to be a trustee, and we can discuss it during our drafting meeting. Thank you, and we hope this video sheds some light on things to consider when choosing a trustee.